I just want to touch on obviously last weekend, disappointing result. Have you had time to sort of look back and assess where it went wrong?
Yeah, extremely disappointing. 80 minutes on the clock. We're 2 nil up. We're in, fairly comfortable control of the game. Looked like if there was a third goal in the game, it was going to come from us. And then, yeah, we've had a couple of moments in the game where the game's turned, and it's, yeah, of course, we've taken the learning from it. I think at 2-1, we need to maybe manage that momentum better for a period, after conceding the first goal. And then when we concede the second, all the momentum's with them. Yeah, extremely disappointing because it's a results business. Of course, for 80 minutes, we were in a great position, but ultimately lose the game. So yeah, we've spoke a lot as a group this week. We've analysed how we manage games. We've analysed the good and bad from the game, and like every game, we need to take the learning from it into the next.
Yeah, and obviously a deflating way to end the game, wasn't it? So when you're sort of building up to a big game like this, how easy is it to turn that mindset around?
Yeah, I think like that's the beautiful thing about football. That is literally a game every week. So you don't have a lot of time to dwell on what's happened behind. We have to learn from it quickly, and that comes in victory and in defeat. You have to take the learning from it quickly. You have to move on and start preparing for the next game. We've got an amazing bunch, a great mentality, great team spirit here, a real togetherness in the group. And, quickly, when another game's coming, you get over what's happened and you start to focus on the next one. And, yeah, they've bounced back really well. The training week's been excellent. And, yeah, we're excited for Sunday.
Arsenal seem to have found their form as well. They've played particularly well in the last couple of games. So a bad time to face them.
I don't know if there's ever the right time to face a team like Arsenal. They're an excellent team. They have got world class individuals. They've got incredible depth that can change a game. They can play a number of different teams in terms of starting players. So yeah, they're very good. They're very well coached. Big fan base. They always bring a lot of energy, a lot of noise. The fans that come with them. But like we have shown in previous games against them that not only can we compete, but we can take something from the game. Our home game last year, we win 4-2. An incredible game. And then the game at the Emirates this year, we caused them problems. We made the game difficult. And on another day, yes, they had the lion's share of the ball, but on another day, we can take something for that game. What we do know is when you play teams like Arsenal, you have to be at your absolute best. You need to ride the kind of storm at times in the game and deal with big spells of pressure, but you have to be brave enough to play, and you have to go into the game with belief that you can get something from the game. And that's going to be really important this weekend.
Yeah, you say you've got to be at your best. Consistency is obviously something that Dario's spoken a lot about, and I know Brighton have been thriving for that. Why do you think it is that maybe you haven't been able to find that consistency this season?
Yeah, I think it can be a number of reasons. I think one of the things that we are working on is just managing certain moments in the game better. We're getting ourselves into fantastic positions in terms of being ahead, and it's then how do we hold on to leads? How do we get the next goal to kill the game off? How do we manage periods of pressure? Those kind of things are important, and that's probably been the big thing this week in terms of what we spoke about. But we've also a team that creates a lot of chances, and we need to start taking more of those chances in games. We get into really good positions on the pitch. Lots of dangerous final third entries, lots of penalty box entries, and we now need to start turning those chances into more goals as a team. Because for the most part, defensively this season we've been really good, and if we can start scoring more of those chances we're creating, I think you'll then see more consistency for the team in terms of results.
When you're coming up against teams like Arsenal, who are in that sort of traditional top four in the WSL, do you think there's maybe a tendency to have almost like a self-conscious, I don't know, fear factor, I suppose, when you're coming up against these teams? Or do you think that's starting to change now that, players and clubs are getting a little bit more used to taking points off these top four?
Well, I don't think the word fear is the right word, but what I would say is in this league now, every single game brings pressure. I think that's one of the most unique things about the league. And when players come here from leagues across the world, I think it's very unique that from top to bottom, anyone can take points off of anybody else in the league. And of course, the teams at the top three, top four, they're consistently winning more. Of course, we understand that. But on any day, any team can take points off of another team in this league. It's a really unique thing to have that in a football league. I think it's one of the biggest selling points of the WSL. So I think that it's a level of respect and preparation required for every game in the league. Of course, when you play against a team like Arsenal, you're going in as the underdog. But it's certainly not fear, it's an opportunity. You know, ultimately the pressure's on them from a expectation point of view, but the internal expectation here is that we perform and we play and we compete and we're trying to get something from the game. We're certainly not turning up to park the bus and kind of pray for a draw or anything like that. We're going to play the game. We want to compete in the game. We want to get something positive from the game. But we have to respect our opponents. We know they're world class, European champions. You know, they're a very, very good side and they've got a lot of individual quality. So our preparation is going to be really important.
Just finally, team news, any updates?
Yeah, Fran is a little bit closer, but won't make it in time for this weekend. Marit is also a little bit closer, but this weekend will be just a little bit too soon for her as well. And then, of course, Rosa Kafaji, she can't play this weekend, obviously, being an Arsenal player.